So, what was IDRA established for? Well, the idea was to identify areas where, as a collective group of researchers, we could collaborate and coordinate. And one of the key functions of this group was all about knowledge sharing, and we really wanted to provide an avenue that allowed people to gain access to other experts in the drowning prevention field, which at meetings like this is not that difficult to do, because you get to sit down and have lunch and dinner with them, and that's one of the great attractions to coming to this meeting. But certainly when I think back to my own experience getting into the research field and being able to collaborate and work with these people is not always that easy, especially when we're such an internationally diverse community, in my case especially when you live as far away enough as New Zealand. There was also the opportunity to offer mentoring, and as already has been alluded to this morning with the scholarships and the up-and-coming young researchers, again, I've been very grateful for the mentoring that I've had, for example, from the likes of Dr. Kevin Moran, but he lives in the same city as I do. But there's a number of other international experts that I wouldn't have had access to. And I think that this group just provides a means by which we can formalise that structure to provide that mentoring to people. There was a vision or a goal that this group could provide consultancy services, because IDRA has no financial base, it has no income streams as of yet. So in the planning stages of how this organisation was going to have any operational funds, this was one of the means by which we thought we could do that. Very similar to the goal of mentoring, that there was the ability to offer some training, and we'll talk a little bit later about access to people who speak the same language as what you do, who can assist in peer reviewing papers. But again, just to provide a sounding board with those publishers, those experts, which many of us cite their papers, to actually help guide us in our own individual research projects. Fundraising is something that this group has not been successful at as of yet. It was our goal to be able to employ a full-time research coordinator, and that is something that we have yet to be able to achieve, but that's something that we're still targeting. And the fundraising is not just in the commercial sector, it's also to philanthropic groups also who may be able to provide a funding base. But as you can imagine, most philanthropic funding bases are linked to activities within that country. It's quite difficult. You've got to be very much on the global stage to be pulling dollars from international type monetary funds that are able to fundraise our activities. So that again is an aspirational goal. Some of the things that don't necessarily require a lot of money but will require a lot of input from volunteers' time is to provide a directory of skills. So this may be in relation to an individual researcher or an institution, and just providing a database of the capabilities, skills and resources that we have within the drowning prevention sector. Ultimately, IDRA would like to be able to provide accreditation once it's more formally established, and that would be to various activities and institutions by way of endorsement. One of the things, again, that it's really great to see at this meeting is that we have so many different presenters from so many different nationalities, but often when you're just starting out or you're presenting at conferences where English is the first language, or in my case you have to interpret Kiwi, which is not always that easy. One of the things that we hope to be able to do is to provide some support with a number of different language speakers, and to be able to assist in reviewing your papers before they're submitted to English journals, which I'm sure is particularly useful to people when they're just starting out. And of course, to be able to distribute and promote your work. And if you visit the IDRA website, you'll see a number of people in the room. You'll see their profiles that are up on the website already. Now, in the 2 years, we haven't been totally inactive, although in 2 years we've managed to produce essentially a letter to the editor, but this was published in the American Journal of Emergency Medicine just recently, and it's a new drowning timeline, and if you'd like a copy of that article, just let me know and I can email one through to you. So that was published mainly by the foundation members of the group, but if nothing else, it's sort of IDRA's first push into the publication forte, and certainly it would be our intent to collaborate on more projects and publish them under the name of the International Drowning Research Alliance. As far as membership is concerned, we have the foundation members who attended this meeting 2 years ago. We have a number of honorary members I mentioned who are present here today, but if you are interested in becoming a member, there is no membership fee charged. There's just some requirements there. In terms of publications, you don't need to be a lead author, and basically you just have to have done 3 conference presentations and submit a blurb, a text as to what you think you could offer the organisation, should you be interested in joining. So for those who haven't had a chance to visit the IDRA website, please do so. You'll recognise a number of familiar faces. There's more information there, and hopefully, funding dependent, we can actually get this organisation to a point where we do have some professional support by way of full-time staff, and if nothing else, it's going to provide a great basis, hopefully, to collaborate and build on events such as these. Thank you.